This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 917. You might notice I am not Brian Kilby, even though I was pretty sure Brian Kilby was going to be back with us this week. Um, Brian wanted me to let everybody know he has been having some family issues, some personal stuff going on at home. Um, Everything basically currently it's okay. The biggest stuff that was going on is behind him and his family right now. So things should be, getting better from here for him, and hopefully he will be back on the show with us very soon. But once again, this week I'm going to fill in for him just because he's kind of getting through the last of what was going on there. If you want to find out more in depth about what's been going on, he's been fairly open about that on his social media account. So go give him a follow, give him a read over at kilby.bsky.social if you want to find out more about what's going on, and send some well wishes his way. I'm sure it'll be appreciated. Also not here with us at the moment this week is Headmaster Don, who is having a very Comcastic night at home. For those who were with us live for the pre-show this week, or for our lovely patrons who get the exclusive pre-show podcast as one of their patron benefits, they will be aware Don was with us during pre-show this week, but was having some intermittent internet problems, which became full-time internet problems about 5 minutes before the show was going to start. So, actually, no, I'm incorrect about that. It was 2 minutes before the show was about to start. Don just kind of dropped off the face of the call, and he's been in.
That was 15 minutes ago, and he's still not back.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get into how long we actually waited for him to come back, but yeah. So with us this week though is Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hello.
We have Diecast, of course.
I have perfectly acceptable internet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing pretty well too because I'm like streaming and everything, and nothing is caught on fire. Rob is here.
I too have functional internet.
Good.
Probably.
I'm glad to hear it. And back with us after a couple of weeks absence, I believe, John DeLuna.
Hey guys, what's up?
Been a while since we've heard from you. A lot of family goings on over the holidays for you.
Yeah, all typical stuff.
Yeah.
What was both kids turned 1 year older. I think since the oldest one had a birthday. So since my last appearance on here. By the way, being off the show 2 weeks isn't too bad. I was off the show for like 2 years.
Well, that's true.
Relatively speaking, not
It was a long 2 years for us, though.
Not so bad. This long winter. Yeah, no. It's all good, although I will say at the time of this recording, where I live in the Dallas area, we're preparing for Snowmageddon.
Oh boy.
Again, tomorrow night, 2 to 4 inches. Look out. I don't know if we're going to make it, but you'll know. I'm sure you'll see any snow pics on my Blue Sky account, that John D, on Friday and Saturday.
And I'm sure the news will be all over how Dallas has been just absolutely destroyed by a quarter inch of snow.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
a lot of cowboys swerving all over the road.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here with 6 inches outside my house from a couple days ago.
And nobody cares.
Same.
And yeah.
Just business as usual in West Virginia. So I should have waited another 45 seconds to do the show and start doing the intros, because hi, Don.
Hi.
Well, I'm glad you made it back before we got too far in.
Well, the router is still rebooting.
Okay, then this is just magic. All right.
Yes.
All right, so let's get on with the show. Finally. So before we jump into the news, I wanted to highlight a cool thing that one of our community members put together. I'm going to risk turning on my browser capture here, even though I didn't test it beforehand, and we'll see. Yeah, there we go. That worked. So Blade Raider in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, posted a picture on his Blue Sky account, bladeraider.bsky.social, of his customized party Wallop using the Non-F Productions Metalhead head and parts, and just a hell of a paint job. He's basically turned Party Wallop into the Metalhead Transformer that we should have gotten all along. And he did a stupendous job on this. It looks like a professional product. It looked like the toy was made this way. I wanted to throw some highlight out to him for just making something so cool out of that already really great toy. Way to go, Blade.
Yeah, that looks really, really good. I kind of wish that's the one we had gotten, but
Yeah.
it would never have that much paint, or that gold would have been the Serpent OR butterscotch gold, and it would have looked terrible.
See, what I was thinking about briefly was, the Molotov chrome pens. They come in silver and gold, and I was thinking like, okay, get one of those gold pens and do the chest up in that gold. But then it occurred to me like, oh right, the van front has to clip onto that, and that would be ruined like the first time or two that you transform it. I'm hoping Blade's paint job is going to be a little bit sturdier for him than that, or he's just not going to transform it that much. But like, even just with the metallic paint color on there, that looks really, really good. So yeah, I want to throw some love on that because that's really, really nice, and just it gives me aspirations for my own, which is sitting as an unopened second party Wallop and a non-F kit. Don, was that your Siri?
No, that was a message from Xfinity.
Okay, can you ask Xfinity to message you a little more quietly the next time?
I'm just trying. It's just still rebooting, so I'm just never mind.
All right, well, moving along. On to the news. Well, it's dead, Jim. Transformers Reactivate is officially no longer being developed.
And
We
it
all
took them
saw
this
this
long to
coming.
tell us why.
No, they don't really say why.
Yeah,
They just basically say, you have no idea how hard this is for us, and the fact that we may have to lay people off. And we didn't want to do this, and we're very sorry. And Hasbro was a great partner, and we hope to work with them again. I don't know why, if I was Hasbro, I would choose to work with a studio that couldn't even release the thing that they were supposed to release, or that, like, I just, if they would have said, hey, we had some issues, we can't bring this game to light, that would have been fine. It almost sounds like they're trying to blame everything else without actually saying what the problem was, because you can't blame us, because it's not like we didn't play the game, you didn't release it for us to play it. So they're like, we had the best people on this game, but you couldn't get it out. I don't, like, something seriously wrong happened, or maybe you just didn't really care about the game to begin with, and maybe it was put on the back shelf for a long time, and you're finally like, we're never going to go back and finish that. But I don't know, I just don't like this statement that they put out.
Yeah, it's intentionally vague, but also
It's a very
kind
corporate
of
statement.
yeah,
pandering.
it's very corporate.
Yeah, it's a standard corporate statement. They were going to say Hasbro was a supported partner, whether or not Hasbro was actually a supported partner. That's how these things work.
I do think they
Yeah.
probably could have done without the passage about how, as a result of this, they might have to lay people off. Like that feels a little out of place in this, but most of it's
I'm
just
just-
boilerplate.
Yeah, I mean, because we've seen studios that were successful and still laid people off. Studios that have made games that sold hundreds of thousands of copies, and they still say, because it underperformed, we have to lay people off to increase the, always infinite profit. And
to be totally honest, I have a feeling that the reason that development stretched on as long as it did was because they were hoping to salvage this to some degree where they would not have to lay people off, and at least the longer they kept development going, the more they could keep their people getting paychecks.
Yeah.
That's speculation on my part entirely. But to be honest, this was going to be doomed no matter what happened to it, because it was in development across several hardware generations.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I believe, a live service game with loot boxes, and like we've had 2 of those, I think, crash and burn in the last year, like within what felt like moments of release. So
What games are those? Because I'm not that gamer savvy anymore.
Yeah, one I believe was called Concord. That was the one that.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was the one that Sony released with basically no promotion whatsoever, and like ended service a week later.
Yeah.
And there have been a couple others lately that have not done very well either. For the most part, I think any live service game that is operating and has its own audience already that is not named Marvel Rivals is probably going to be just that's what's going to exist, and there's not a lot of future for that format unless you have something the size of Marvel to throw at it, which Transformers is just not.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this would have been a great thing if they could have got it going in the original time frame in the early 2020s. We're in the mid 2020s now, as much as I hate to admit that, and it's sat on the shelf too long. Do you remember several months ago they put out a release that they were basically reworking the game from the ground up to be Unreal Engine 5 now, when it had been developed for X amount of time on Unreal Engine 4. That's what Rob's talking about, going across platform generations. Like, that in itself probably was the last nail in it. And that's where they would have been fighting to try to get this to actually come out. Because they basically had to restart the work on at least the functional elements of the game from zero. Their graphics assets and the writing and everything might have all still been there, but having to restart with the game engine, that's just that's hard to come back from.
And to be honest, given that some of the early footage that had gotten leaked showed in many cases like very different character designs even than the trailer we got a couple of years ago, I have a feeling that this was just in development hell, and just it kept changing. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if as a project initiated by the previous CEO, with Hasbro wanting to move more heavily into gaming now, that would probably be there's a non-zero chance that had to do with cancellation as well.
But Rob, this is gaming.
Yes, but it's also, again, the last guy's project.
Yeah,
those tend to suffer.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, a new broom sweeps clean is not always a good thing, especially if you've got stuff that
certainly not in the corporate world. It's not.
Yeah, well, it's like Power Rangers. Power Rangers was basically given a death sentence the moment the new guy took over because he didn't like it, didn't want it, thought it was a mistake.
I mean, the rumors we heard was that Goldner was the only one who wanted Power Rangers. So it wouldn't have mattered who took over Hasbro after Goldner had to step down. Nobody else wanted Power Rangers, so it was going to be on the outs as soon as anyone else got in that chair. But the one thing we can say about the Transformers Reactivate announcement today is that absolutely nobody is surprised. We've been just waiting for them to officially say, yeah, no, this is just, it's gone. Or we've been waiting for it to be X amount of time since the last thing so we could just determine that, yeah, they're just not even going to pretend anymore. But we got 4 toys out of it.
Hopefully Chris Cox, because he wants to focus on video games, I'd love to see some Transformers video games, and this is like one that's been hanging in the balance for years, and there's really no other games that we know of other than like mobile games, so it would be nice to get a non-mobile Transformers game again.
It might be more lucrative for Hasbro to just keep licensing out to mobile game development, though. It reduces the burden on them tremendously, especially in the upkeep realm. And, they can keep collecting their licensing paychecks off of that, and it's completely somebody else's problem for the 12 or 18 or 24 months that the game stays current, and then it gets sunsetted and the next person comes along to license the next mobile game. It's just so much a better thing for Hasbro financially to just let anybody else do that on those games with a relatively short lifespan and a high turnover like that. I mean, I hate that that's the case, but it would make more sense to me if Transformers mostly just ended up in mobile games for a while, because it's so easy and immediately money making for Hasbro. In potentially better news, we have some leaks that came out just this morning, like early this morning, I believe, showing what is believed to be the first look at Masterpiece Rattrap. So this is something that we've been anticipating for, well, some years now, since the Masterpiece Beast Wars line started. That's been, man, almost a decade now, I think, since Masterpiece Beast Wars actually kicked off. That also kind of hurts. So these pictures came from a leaked solicitor catalog kind of thing. We get those from time to time, and it certainly seems to show a new, very show accurate looking Rattrap toy. I don't think there's any immediate reason to throw much doubt on this.
No, it looks legit.
Yeah, I mean, there's like enough, evidence of engineering and stuff on it, and it doesn't. To me, it does not read like a third-party toy. So I'm inclined to think that, yeah, we're gonna see an announcement of this in a week or two, and this is what it's gonna be. So like, just when I was putting the show notes together a little while ago, is the first time I got to see the picture of the presumptive toy in its beast mode, and like, I'm pleased to see that they have engineered it so that Rattrap can stand up in beast mode and be emotive and posable, like was often the case in the show. Like, that's an important factor for that. And like, that would be an important consideration for if I was thinking of buying this. However, I've also seen what appears to be the intended retail price tag of it, which is 15,000 yen, and so I will not be buying this.
Yeah,
How
that
much is
translates
that
to
again?
about $96, unless I was off on my translation.
That's not bad.
That's current exchange rates. Yeah, that sounds about right. Assuming those exchange rates hold, for one, yeah. And also just that's not going to be very large for
It is
that
not.
kind of money.
I mean,
I kind of draw the line at having paid like $40 for Missing Link Bumblebee. I do not foresee myself doing that with Cliff Jumper as much as I like that Bumblebee. But yeah, just
yeah.
No, and like,
I mean,
Black Arachnia was like 100. Black Arachnia was over $100. It was like 16,000 yen. And Rattrap is going to be smaller than that, because in season 1, Rattrap was the smallest character, smaller even than Black Arachnia. In season 2, Rattrap and Black Arachnia and Waspinator and Quickstrike were all about the same robot height. But like, Rattrap got a size boost going Transmetal. Rattrap is tiny in season 1, so like, this, I'm sure there's a ton of engineering in this, which is driving the price point to some extent, but to some extent, this is also just Masterpiece tax on this.
yeah.
yeah.
Do you think that he'll come with, well, if they add accessories to pad out the price point, which they may not, being the image they think Masterpiece presents to us versus what the reality is at this point, what could they add to it to make it a bit more palatable? Because I am drawing a blank other than golden discs.
Well, I mean, why would he have golden discs, though? Like, that was never his plot
Well,
point.
no, I'm just saying things that are Beast Wars related.
Like accessories for the other.
Yeah, like,
masterpieces.
like Grimlock came with the swords, like golden discs for Dinobot to hold, or I'm just not sure what they could put with him.
Did Dinobot not already come with golden discs?
Dinobot did.
Yeah.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
I was
There's
just
not
thinking.
a ton of accessories like in Beast Wars lore outside of that.
Yeah, because he has the bombs, the remote detonator, the gun.
Yeah, he didn't have like a ton of gear in season 1 in particular. Like, if we're talking about things that would just work for other characters, like, they could do, we were talking about this a week or two ago, the riot shield that Optimus occasionally had in season 1, that for Wonderfest they gave a 1-day license to a garage kit manufacturer for.
Yeah.
That's something that they could do. That would be that would probably be about as tall as Rattrap in robot mode if it was scaled correctly to Masterpiece Optimus Primal.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe one of the automated defense turrets off the Axelon.
Yeah, maybe.
A possibility.
Yeah, that could be. I'm just thinking maybe there's more in this package than meets the eye, so to speak.
Rusted Cross in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, suggests he could come with Waspinator's head, or arm, or leg. Like,
Or
I
a
guess,
piece of cheese.
or I guess you could do like a whole build a Waspinator thing with Rattrap. You just buy like 7 or 8 Masterpiece Rattraps, and you end up with Masterpiece Waspinator.
Yeah.
Yes, Don.
Maybe like Energon crystals.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember us having very similar conversations about a few other Beast Wars masterpieces when we were looking at the price tag attached to them versus the apparent magnitude of the toy that we were going to get out of them. And basically none of those things came true because what we always have to remember is Beast Wars masterpieces are a lot more expensive than their Autobot car contemporaries or what have you. Like they're disproportionately expensive. Setting aside, lucky strikes like Don getting Masterpiece Rhinox for $5 on Amazon Japan or whatever he did that time.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to say, oh, we're engineering these animals to be as close to screen accurate as possible. So here's the price. But we're not seeing that kind of like what they said about Scrapper. Scrapper is
and that is a problem because I still see people talking about Scrapper, even though it's been discussed pretty well. Like because you cannot see what they have built into that, the value does not present itself to you. And yeah, on the Takara Tomy side of things, they probably are assuming that there's much more complicated engineering that goes into these figures, and people will understand that and understand that's why they cost what they do, except that they don't.
Yeah, I think I probably said this before discussing previous Beast Wars masterpieces as well, but the other issue is there are a lot fewer recolor options for Beast Wars masterpieces.
And so don't imagine we're going to see a Masterpiece Pack Rat anytime in our lifetimes.
Yeah, so that tooling has to pay for itself on the first trip.
It sure does.
Should that be my new windmill? We talked about this in pre-show. Should that be my new windmill to tilt at? Is a pterosaur? Tilt at
Generation Selects Fractal and Pack Rat because I would actually buy those.
Okay, all right.
I just can't believe this line is still going.
I mean, I think a lot of us
it's lurching along. It's just because Rhinox went on sale a lot of places for sub 200. I saw it about 170 on several sales, new ones, and it's like they're keeping them in reserve when they've got nothing else to do. They just slot one in.
We don't know of anything they have to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, Masterpiece has really been kind of slacking off in terms of volume over the last few years. Getting all the train bots out in the course of about a year was, I would say, the most Masterpiece activity we have had in a solid little run for a while.
It wasn't good activity.
No,
the end results were kind of sad.
Wasn't great. Wasn't great, but
could have been better. Very bad Yelp review.
Actually, you were saying so Masterpiece Beast Wars toys, they're give or take like a decade old now.
I can't remember when
Cheetor is almost 10 years old or something.
I can't remember when. I think wasn't Primal the first one.
I can't recall. I think it was Cheetor, but who? I mean, if it was 10 years ago, who can remember?
So I think Primal was the first one because that's where we were starting to get the sticker shock, and then they were doing the behind the scenes stuff about how they were doing the fur texture deco on it with the
water slide,
the hydro dip thing, yeah. And a lot of us learned for the first time what that meant in manufacturing terms. And we were that's when we started kind of understanding and putting together, like there are different production processes that go into this. It's not like making other masterpieces, and that's part of why the price is higher. Then, subsequent
Sure.
ones came out like Cheetor, who would be done with probably tampagraphing for the spots, because I don't know if you would get a consistent hydro dipping. Anyway, the point is, like, it just ended up being Beast Wars ones were disproportionately expensive, not necessarily
Sure.
because of one specific thing they were doing different, but like Primal has to be close to a decade ago, because
October 29th, 2016, according to TF Wiki.
good golly, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, 8 years.
yeah,
I mean,
because
he's been out so long, he's had a reissue.
yeah, I think so.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, he has. Because I mean, MP43 Beast Wars Megatron was in like 2018 or 2019, so that itself is back a ways at this point too.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, we're old. It's terrible. I hate
Yeah,
it.
well, they're also dragging this out.
They
You know
sure
what I mean?
are.
So,
Like Wheeljack64 notes that at this point we still need Air Razor to complete the season 1 maximal cast. Like, it's amazing that we're almost to the point of having the complete maximal cast, but the rate they're going, that could still be another 2 or 3 years before we would theoretically get that.
yeah, it definitely has felt like 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was, like when Masterpiece really started to ramp up,
Hmm.
that we were getting G1 cars like left and right.
Yeah, well,
And
and I guess for that first little stretch, we were, because they were doing all the initial Autobot cars, which had 5 redecos each, so it was easy for them to do like one a week.
yeah. Well, they were doing it,
Yeah,
and we felt it, but I mean, it just felt overall it just felt healthier. You know what I mean? It might have
yeah,
been kind of overwhelming, and you had to kind of budget for it, but
but
it
they were
definitely
also a
felt
heck of a
like,
lot cheaper.
yeah, they were cheaper, but yeah, no, I mean, it just felt like, um, it just felt better. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like when you release a new Beast Wars, Masterpiece Beast Wars, like every 2 years, every 18 months, that's just weird. It's also weird to just expect people to stay excited about it. They literally forget about that line existing.
Yeah, like we've kind of gone
So
through cycles with Masterpiece, because when Masterpiece started, when it was in single digit serial numbers, Masterpiece was like you would get one or maybe two every like 18 months, 2 years or so. Like it was a slow drip, and you would sometimes get like the recolors out of them, like your core Ultra Magnus or your Gold Megatron that made no sense. Like, it wasn't really until the early 2010s when we started getting into that, like the high end of the bell curve, and now we're down the other side of it again, and like we're back to where we started, but it does feel kind of weird, especially since like the target range for it is all over the place now. There's not like a consistent feel to what they're doing besides train bots. Oh, so many train bots. Why do you keep making train bots?
They love them.
Japan does love its trains. I love model trains too, don't get me wrong. I just don't want those. All right, moving on to something else Matt probably won't care about. We have our first look at a Cyberworld toy, apparently. Mega Bull is what we're going with on this, and it is indeed a bison that appears to be very Megatron themed.
What is Cyberworld?
The successor to Earthspark, eventually.
Uh
So we've got some pictures of that here. So I mean, you can see like the robot head is just Megatron with horns.
sure is.
Yeah.
Uh,
weird.
Sure is.
it looks to be like a core class-ish size toy, maybe slightly bigger than that, but definitely like a very basic order of articulation, and the engineering is pretty simplistic too. It is literally just like on its fists and knees, and the bullhead kind of snaps up.
It's not terrible, but I mean, it's
Stop
Was
it,
was
Don.
All
was,
right.
was that a
Okay.
joke, Don?
Well, he's holding his smile back. So
Well,
yes.
Don is not on my screen or the stream screen right now because I'm showing pictures of the toy. So
He couldn't even say it with a straight face.
yeah, yeah. Damn it, Don.
I'm interested to see like what the actual color scheme will be here.
Yeah,
You know, it could be they could go a lot of ways. Like, is it just going to be like a that's I don't know. It's going to be a typical bull and then like some gray robot parts in there. Are they going to have more fun with it?
I'm wondering if the plastic colors we're seeing, this black and white, is
Ugh,
like the base plastic colors, and we're just gonna
I
get
hope
some
not.
paint detail over it.
Yeah, I mean that's the most
Realistic.
straightforward
Yeah.
result. Yeah, so I'm hoping for more fun,
Me
but
too. Me too.
yeah,
Definitely hoping for
we'll see.
that. But I know better.
Yeah, we've seen this show before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm hoping, like, I don't think there's like more to this toy specifically that we're not grasping, but like whatever play pattern this is part of, I'm hoping there's a little bit more to it or some bigger toys in this. Because like the design aesthetic of this I don't have a problem with at this point from like this example. Um but unless this toy is like $10 or so, I don't see myself forking over any cash for something this simplistic. It's a neat novel idea, Megatron the cow, but beyond that, I don't know if it's a sell.
Oh, it's going to be at least $13 just because.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I
so
mean,
it is.
we have to look this way. Has Hasbro ever really steered us wrong? So,
You
Okay.
know, Don, your internet's been doing a lot better the last little while, but I can still give you a Comcast Ignite if I want to.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm.
Xfinity, save us, like help us.
What is behind that? It looks like a Cheetor with a
Yeah, so let me get
Oh, there's
the
more stuff back there.
face.
Yeah, there's
That's,
there's some
that's-
cheaters, and one is
that's
the
Kingdom Tigatron, a test shot of it.
Yeah, and the other one is Lio Convoy.
So
So
that
it's
that gives
Cyberworld, right?
that
You
gives
said?
you an idea of how big this is. It comes up to about the waist of a recent Voyager.
Oh, okay. So do we know any other details about Cyberworld or any other like toys or like any other like concept details or anything like that?
I
Did
don't
we get
I don't-
listings for these a few weeks ago?
Well, if by a few weeks ago you mean sometime last year, it was back in August actually. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so what we have, these originally came through JT Prime. We miss you, JT Prime. Have a good life out there doing what you're doing. That's not leaking. So this falls into the Cyber Changers assortment, and other toys that we have in that include Mirage. We have Skybite, Snarl. What I that might be Optimus Prime Off Road, the way that's written. And then there's like Armored Cyber Changers, which is an assortment. There's something called Armored Galvatron, which I'm assuming is going to be a bigger kind of toy with, one of those like power up gimmicks like we see on like the movie toys and some of the Earthspark stuff occasionally. So like, it's definitely taking that product segment. I'm kind of hoping that the Cyber Changers, if this like Mega Bull is one of those listed toys, I'm hoping this is something like the Warrior class toys we have in Earthspark, and it's not going to be our deluxe analogs. Because if so, we've come down a few notches in build quality.
Yeah, just looking at it in terms of size and complexity, I was kind of wondering if there might be another component to this because it reminds me of those like little figures with battle masters that they did for Rise of the Beasts.
See, now that would be interesting.
Yeah.
And, I would, on discount, I would buy some of those probably for the little, battle mastery guys. Diecast is over there smirking and snickering to himself, and, like, no good can come from this. What have you done to Don?
He's still here.
I am distrustful of that answer. All right, so, hey, Diecast, what do you think about these Yolopark AMK minis, these G1 and movie figure color samples?
The first wave was okay. They weren't my favorite. But now they're doing a Jazz and an RC and a Cliff Jumper.
That RC looks kind of rough.
Yeah, and that cliff jumper looks a little off to me too. I can't.
He's a bit too tall proportioned.
Yeah. Um,
It's awkward teenage cliff jumper.
I almost wonder if they have a different designer on the minis than they do on the like Pro series, because there's
Oh,
definitely
probably.
like a difference.
What
And like,
the hell is that?
but I'm looking at Wave 3, which is actually looks like Rise of the or Revenge of the Fallen, Optimus Prime, and Megatron, or Dark of the Moon. They might be Dark of the Moon.
I don't have a clear picture of those in the slides I'm looking at.
Yeah, and a very bumblebee, a very bumblebee that doesn't really look like he's movie.
No, the Bumblebee I'm seeing is looking like kind of evergreen based.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
The thing that stood out
weird.
to me though is this like IDW Orion packs they have here with G1 Ironhide and Ratchet.
Yeah, that was interesting too.
That
And I
Bumblebee
don't know
could be
why.
based off of one of the IDW bodies as well. Now that you mention it,
Sorry, Rob, say that again.
that Bumblebee could be based off of one of the IDW bodies too. Now that you mention it.
Maybe.
Yeah, that IDW Orion Pax is way bigger than Ironhide and Ratchet, was
Yeah.
kind of throwing me off a little bit. Um, I mean, I'll be interested to see them when they come out, just to see how they feel. Um, the Hot Rod looks okay. There's a Hound and there's also a Prowl. So, and now I'm looking at this last picture, which has, of course, Starscream in it, and the head's not painted at all, and it looks totally wrong.
Yeah, like a lot of these look hand painted, so that might be something they still correct before the actual production is finalized.
Yeah, because
I
I
would
thought I
hope.
had him already, so I have to look at mine and see.
Mhm.
I do have Starscream. I don't. The placards for this say BMK series, so I'm wondering if there's going to
Oh,
be some
okay,
kind
yeah,
of.
I remember. I remember earlier this week there was something about Yolopark BMK also, and I didn't find any more information, so those just got lumped in there.
Okay, I don't know what they are, but like
Yet
size
another, yeah,
wise,
yet another series though.
yeah. Um, but I hope those aren't the final colors, because those need some help.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, I need to comment for a second here.
Yes, Don. Hello.
The jazz looks. I think the jazz looks pretty good from at least that from that angle.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cliff jumper is right offable. What the hell is that RC?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at with
I-
that too.
No, that's it. Evergreen is the best way to describe that. It doesn't even really.
If that's an
It's very
evergreen, I think it's
uncanny
contracted
valley.
a bit of blight.
Yeah, it's very uncanny valley. You know it's RC, but it doesn't look right.
Oh no, it looks quite wrong.
It's my guess. For one, the design has been rounded off a little bit,
Hmm.
which frequently does not do well by RCs. Secondly, I'm pretty sure that the proportions are just a little bit stiff and weird, because keeping everything in proportion would probably make the arms in particular a little bit too delicate. I think
Yeah.
the awkwardness is coming from the scale of these figures, which are
Yeah.
about 3 to 4 inches tall. So yeah, it's not going to be particularly large. So yeah, I think that is why RC is suffering at this scale, because just yeah, to make a slender frame like that is at that size does you kind of end up butting against the strength of the material if you're not careful. I swear Ironhide, Ratchet, and Cliffjumper are all the same height.
They do kind of give that impression, don't they?
Yeah, like in the long shot, if you look at how their heads line up with that shelf behind them.
Yeah, all right. So it looks like that's not going to be a buy for a lot of us. This line.
I might get
More
a
like a
couple.
bye bye.
I have one already. So I have a couple already, in fact. So I might grab a couple if they interest me.
How about some in-hand pictures of Age of the Prime Silverbolt from Mark Maher's Instagram?
I don't have a problem with what I'm seeing. I know some people are a little, not hepped up on using the Minosaur frame, but if it works, I mean, Silverbolt's the same size as Motor Master, so that will work in scale. The group shot looks great. They're using the battle embankment, which I like. They look good as a set. Silverbolt by himself looks good. He looks good plugged into the frame. I mean, there's going to be a few inconsistencies because he's Silverbolt. He's a jet with a robot stuck underneath. That's kind of what he always has been. And if you get too far away from that, it's not Silverbolt.
Yeah, I
So,
guess.
I mean, having to use the frame, I get why some people don't like that. But if that's the only way they could do it to get this set out, I'm more than fine with that.
And Silverbolt apparently has secret Titan Master seating.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think that's just probably more anything Mark playing around with what he's got laying around, because if you notice, that cockpit's not going to close over that Titan Master.
Yeah.
I think that's just for where the nose code hides in transformation.
If you squish him a little bit, it'll be fine.
Yeah, if he
Yeah,
leans
he can
back,
lay
maybe.
back.
Huh.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Silverbolt's a Concorde. That's going to be a transatlantic flight, so of course you're going to have like reclining seats so you can take a nap on your way from New York to London.
Yeah.
They
looks like
practically fly themselves at this point anyway.
Yeah, it
so
makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Now again, looking in the picture before that, where he's tilted up with the armature.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Silverbolt. You've got
It is.
You basically got all of Superions, most of Superion, like right there.
Well, you definitely
Because-
have Superion's head right there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's like.
I do
there are a
I
few
do like though that Silverbolt's nose cone can pitch down accurate to how a Concorde worked.
And if you look at the group shot, I mean, they look really good together. I mean, again, like I said last week, the aerial bots, when done right, as a cohesive group, look great.
You just
It's
can't
just
tell them
they're-
apart.
Yeah, their color schemes just make them
That's
very
not true.
blah.
One of them's red and one of them's black.
Okay, fine.
I mean, they just sort of lose themselves in each other.
One of them is
It's-
bald and sounds like Rob Paulson.
Yeah, it's just weird that the
it's a
dichotomy
jerk.
of the group
Yeah.
is that they look
Yeah, he sounds
great
like Rob
together.
Hey,
Paulson.
They look great together, but they also look boring together. It's the curse of the aerial bots.
Look, Matt, all I'm saying is that Rob Paulson has a tendency to play characters that are jerks. I'm not
I
saying
will
Rob
not
Paulson
have
is
you
a jerk.
bad-mouthing Pinky.
A tendency. Pinky's the exception that proves the rule.
Who was he? Was what, Slingshot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hear that now in my head. I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, you should be more up on your voice actors, Don.
I'm sorry. I've only watched very little animation over the past 54 years of my life. It's hard to keep up with everybody doing all the shows.
I don't know why.
I'm old.
You didn't used to be.
Yeah, it's all the same actors in most of them.
Right!
Yeah.
Especially in the 80s. So some in-hand pictures I'm less excited about. Collaborative Naruto, Kurama, and Gamakichi photos.
That's that thing we all forgot about, right?
I mean, I tried to forget about it. I did not succeed in forgetting about it.
I was successful until you brought it back up, so thanks for that.
No problem.
God, those feet are huge on the legs. They had to make them bigger, I guess, than like Cheetos, and they're just huge.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, they had to like reshape the last segment, I think.
Yeah, my pre-order is in danger.
Well, my pre-order can't be in danger because I didn't make one.
Well, mine was immediately a knee-jerk, ooh, new crossover. And it's like, then I looked at it more, and I was like, can I get just a frog?
Yeah, that's the frog looks okay.
I think that's what most people want. They want the Spidor analog.
Yeah, any new pass at a basic Beast Wars figure style, I'll grab. But I will probably wait for markdown on this because Naruto does not particularly mean much of anything to me, so I can live without it. It's not like it's Rathalos Prime.
Because you can live without it.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And they only have the
Quite
frog in
easily.
like one picture.
Yeah. I mean, there's no alt mode picture there either. I think these are pictures taken from an eBay listing, so they weren't
Yeah.
trying to do comprehensive documentation of everything the toy could do. They were just showing off for their eBay listing.
And you said that frog's probably going to get a retool anyway.
I mean, the problem is with core class being basically dead, they would have to find some multi-pack to hide that in. There's not like a direct path for that to get out to retail now, so there is more of a challenge in finding somewhere for it to go.
Yeah, it's not impossible that this was something that was planned for other reasons and is finding its final refuge here.
Yeah, this might be the get whatever money we can out of this project rather than this is a preview for something else that they're planning to do, unfortunately. But in much better news, we have some nice shiny new pictures of Blue Grimlock.
And he is glorious.
Yeah. That is a lovely shade of blue they've gone with. Also,
very close to the Fans Toys blue for their G2 Grimlock.
But much cheaper.
Yeah. And probably more fun to play with. Like,
No, I don't know. It does come with wheelie.
Yeah.
But at least it's a unique color wheelie that we wouldn't really expecting.
I mean,
if there's
okay, so like I'm not the biggest fan of core class wheelie, but I would totally be up for getting that re-released in Wild Boy of Quintessa colors.
Yeah, there's not much else you can do with it.
Right. You could do Dion in a 2-pack with Cup as Orion. Like that's pretty much your
which we already have an Orion retooled from that cup, so it's probably not going to happen.
Right. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. This I do have on pre-order, and that pre-order is very safe. It is in no danger with me.
I like that it has the G2 faction tampograph on the leg.
Finally. Yes, yeah, they actually like went to some attention to detail on that. I'm very pleased by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is in the same case with Megatronus the Fallen. So like, it's going to be a first for me in quite a while where there is a leader case that comes out where I actually very actively want both toys that are in it immediately. I have bought so few leaders in general over the last couple of years. I mean, partly that's because most of the leaders over the last like 3 years have been Laser Optimus Prime.
Come on, Toxitron was great.
And I have that.
Okay.
That was the one that I was holding out for. But, that was a store exclusive. Like, the general retail has mostly just been reissues of that Laser Prime for the leader class offerings. Like, it has not been a great field, unfortunately. But, all that money that I didn't spend on those leaders, I can spend on the Fallen and the G2 Grimlock that I always wanted. So our last thing, this is kind of a weird one, but again, this kind of goes back to they got to reuse these molds for something. So DNA Designs, they have the Nova Prime kit that they were soliciting for the Amazon exclusive from last year. They've gone and solicited a redeco of that now for Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime from Siege. So it's largely the same parts, but now it's like Shattered Glass inspired, kind of.
Yeah, like, what is this supposed to be?
Galactic Slayer. I think this is something that they have mostly made up, but it looks to be inspired by Shattered Glass.
Yeah, they had it available for the mold, and they just made it in a different color or a different toy that's 6 years old.
and pretty expensive on the secondary market. Like, we talk a lot with the DNA design stuff about how, like, yeah, you're buying the base toy and then you're buying this kit that costs as much or more than the base toy. This might be the one time where they're releasing a kit where the base toy is going to cost you way more than the upgrade kit is going to. If you don't have Galaxy Upgrade Optimus and you want this kit to put on it, like, you're probably going to be close to a couple $100 into that, I would guess, at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I know that Optimus the Amazon
Nova Prime?
the Nova Prime, that one sold out relatively quick.
It did better than most of its contemporaries, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got mine on sale, so it wasn't that quick.
Oh, okay.
But it did eventually sell out, as far as I know.
But yeah, I had no idea that this figure was that in demand. And it looks like it comes with two different head options.
It does. One is
Yeah,
very
there's a Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus.
yeah, which doesn't make any sense for this color scheme, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
No.
if they've done that head in blue, since they're bothering to reproduce the head that you're not using on your Delta Magnus anyway,
Right?
if they bothered to do it in blue so that it kind of fit the color scheme of the character a little bit better, I think it would look better. You know, does go well with the Scythe. I kind of had, you know, something similar in mind if I ever found a body I wanted to put under that head, but yeah, I don't know why they bothered to include it rather than just go, hey, this is something you can do with this extra head you're not using. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, assuming that fits on the Galaxy Upgrade parts.
I have to assume just because it's all from that same mold family.
Yeah, but like the armor on, like, it's different sets of armor. Well, I don't know. I can say for sure I have not tried to like head swap that onto my Galaxy Upgrade Optimus. I put that shattered glass head in a container, which I think then went into a box and is theoretically safely stored away somewhere. It's safe in that I cannot get to it to actively lose it, but since I don't know where exactly it is functionally lost anyway. So the safety is very hypothetical here.
No, I thought you were going to mail it to yourself and smash it with a hammer. That's where I thought you were going with that. But
that seems like a gross overreaction, Don. I'm not sure, like, not sure where that's coming from. You okay, Don?
it
You
was
okay,
Emperor's
Don?
New Groove. Emperor's New Groove joke. Apparently, it did not work.
Sorry, I never got around to watching it.
Oh, that's the only thing I ever liked David Spade in, just because he's a voice and not actually in it.
But he is still in it, so it's still tainted. Well, okay, David Spade is not as bad as Andy Dick. Like, not by a long shot.
No, but I did like Andy Dick in that one episode of Voyager. He was fun as the hologram.
At the time, yes,
That
but
is your opinion.
going back to that and, you know, having more Andy Dick context since, like, I can't really enjoy that the same way anymore.
Well, I'm just looking at that like a ship in a bottle. Just that is its own thing in its own universe.
So, let's talk about what we got this week. Matt, what did you get?
Okay, so my sister and brother-in-law came in, so I got a couple more things for Christmas.
Nice.
I got the Optimus Christmas ornament from this year from Hallmark.
Oh, very good.
Beautiful.
Yes. And also, I got from Mattel Creations, I got the Optimus Prime that transforms the Hot Wheels.
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
Oh, neat.
That thing sold out like in seconds.
Yes, I was quite surprised by that one.
Wow.
Did you
I have not taken it out and messed with it.
did you
but,
find that when it
it-
came out or on the secondary market or what?
It was a
I got
gift.
it for Christmas, Don.
Oh,
It
okay.
was a gift.
All right.
It is like I could take it out and mess with it. It is not like in sealed packaging.
Collector friendly.
So, yes, very, very collector friendly packaging.
That paint looks
And
like it's a fingerprint magnet.
there's probably, and there's even display options, so you can take him out of this plastic bubble where he is in truck mode right now, and there is a robot shaped one hidden back here where you can switch them out, so you can display them however you want.
Oh, that's cool.
That's nice.
I was quite surprised by that one. So, but that's it for me this week.
That's some good ones though. Like that Hot Wheels Optimus, that is an amazing.
I was taken by surprise.
Yeah, like
I will say.
yeah, they must have heard about that and just been camping on that for when that went live. Like that's an amazing get.
Because I don't know about y'all, but I was not expecting that thing to sell out as fast as it did at that price.
Right. No, I don't. Well, okay. So like when we talked about that originally, we were taking into account that this is marketed at Hot Wheels collectors more than Transformers collectors, and Hot Wheels collectors are insane and have no shortage of money somehow.
And what makes that gift even better is I work with a Hot Wheels collector, and he is now jealous because I have it and he does not.
Oh, now see now that's the gift that keeps on giving.
Indeed.
Hey, Matt, if you ever get a chance to travel back in time, you need to go to that TF Con where they had the car show and then just walk through holding that out and then just walk out.
Yeah, sure. So, John DeLuna, how about you? What did you get recently?
I didn't get anything like this week, but I did get a couple weeks ago and opened it up the DNA kit for animated Optimus Prime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gives him the what wing blade
Yeah.
upgrades.
Yeah.
With the hammer and leg extensions and forearms, and it's awesome. I really really like it. DNA kits are they're pricey for sure, but when they work, they really do work.
Yeah.
And
it actually
this
gives them a
is a
trailer.
great kit. Say it again, Don.
It actually gives them a trailer.
Yeah. So yeah, all the upgrades like yeah, they cobble together into a trailer and it looks really good. And then of course the real attraction, the main attraction is the super robot, if you will, mode. Everything locks in place. Everything is surprisingly well engineered to lock into existing slots and tabs and ports that he has on him. So everything's really solid. I would say the only thing that's kind of a little bit wobbly is the faceplate and the visor that kind of clip onto his and onto his helmet and his face. But they're not bad. It's not like they're just popping off randomly or anything like that. Everything else, like I said, just like locks into place, rock solid. Looks super good. Very happy with it. I think it's probably sold out in most places at this point. I think it was like $50. So again, like pricey, right? Like almost twice or about twice as much as the actual base toy, but really cool. And that's all I got this week.
So they are doing a version for the Motormaster. Are you going to get that when that comes out?
No,
Okay.
I am not going to get that one. That one is definitely for hardcores. I would say I would be tempted if it was more than just a recolor. Like if they had leaned into a Macho Man look or a pro wrestling look and given him like different knee pads or just a more different a couple of twists or turns on the design, I would definitely consider it. As it's more or less like a straight recolor. It's not really for me, but I'm super impressed by the Prime version for sure.
Okay, cool. Rob Clay, you're next.
Nothing.
Oh, well, that's kind of a letdown.
Oh, wait a second. Did I got Ruckus and did I talk about Ruckus and Bludgeon last week?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I did get something.
Hey.
My memory is terrible.
It must have came on Thursday, as it always does.
I think it did, but many thanks to Wheeljack64 who helped me get this because the coupon showed up for him, but not me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he just got it off on my wish list at tfradio.net/playlist, and I paid him back for it. So, Bludgeon looks really nice. I forgot how just flexible that mold is. It can hold its katana two-handed very easily. Looks good that way. I wound up with 2 right cannons, and I think I can live with that.
The big cannons or the little cannons?
The big cannons on the back.
Okay.
Yeah. So like one of them has the like lump on facing outwards and one facing inwards. I want to say that happened with my turn too, so maybe I'm just misinterpreting this toy and it only comes with one type of cannon or something.
No, one should be square and one should be rounded.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. I'll take a look at that again, but I'm pretty sure I got the two square ones. Ruckus took me a little bit to warm up to, because when I first tried it, I made the mistake of following the instructions. It's an incredibly simple toy. It is like, 1984 mini car level transformation. I like that. I'm sick of struggling with Transformers. I wound up struggling with Ruckus because the instructions forget to kind of tell you that you have to swing the halfway transformed legs upwards towards the chest and then fold them into the back end of the car. Kind of like breaking a taco in reverse or shuffling a deck of cards made of a dune buggy. And yeah, I struggled trying to get everything lined up for like an hour, and then went to the wiki and bothered to look, and it's like, okay, that works now. Everything's cool. And now that I'm not struggling with this thing, I like it quite a bit. But yeah, that just initial frustration took a little bit of time to overcome there. But yeah, it's a good set. Thank you, Josh, for helping me get it. I really appreciate it. And that's the extent of what I got this week.
I like shuffling a deck of cards made out of dune buggy. That's probably a little too wordy for an episode title, but I really like that.
Maybe there's a little Picard in there that peeks his head out as you're doing it.
Yeah, so like I had to think when I was messing with Ruckus, I don't think I looked at the instructions. I must have just like messed with the toy and transformed it the way that felt right, because I did not have any of the problems I saw you and Josh talking about on the Discord server after you got it, tfradio.net/Discord. So I was really surprised just with seeing the conversation as it was going on.
Yeah, I mean, it may have just hit me on exactly the wrong day too. That just happens sometimes.
Oh
with
yeah,
toys,
definitely.
And you have to go back to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, also I just double checked, and yeah, I have two square cannons on my Bludgeon. So.
Well, that's among the most like survivable problems that toy can have.
Yeah, extremely benign. I don't think it's particularly worth worrying about. So I'm just gonna go with it as it is.
Yeah. All right, Don, your turn.
All righty, got some stuff. A lot of stuff came in after the show last week, of course.
Of course.
Thanks to Target running many random sales before Christmas. That's why you have to check every couple of hours or every day or so to see what's up. I picked up Prototype Colors Reaction RC for $10.
Good. That's what you should pay for that.
Exactly.
Or less.
Because that's like half off. So
Yeah, less.
I went ahead and got it. Because now she's out of stock, so I'm happy with that. We got Studio Series Hatchet. I got that in last week.
Oh, is that the one that turns into a dog?
Yeah, the terror dog kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, so even though the dreads really aren't important to me, it took 17 years, 15 years to get a set of dreads.
Well, I mean, it certainly took like 2 years for that toy to come out after we first heard about it.
Oh, was it that long? Okay.
Yeah, because remember, we had the first
yeah.
render of that when we saw Earth Mode Hound for the first time, and that took...
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'd forgotten about
until
that.
the Selects 5-pack in, last spring? Roughly?
And I went and did it again. I bought another Galvatron.
He done it again.
I done it again because there's so many Galvatrons. But after seeing photos
this
of
one is
this
Studio
with-
Series 86 Gal.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Sorry. So
This is
after-
basically Don's Seeker at this point.
well, I don't want it to be.
But it is.
I mean, my Seeker is the Mirage,
It'll come to you. It'll come to you.
Get it out.
Yeah,
Keep trying.
yeah,
Get there. You'll get there.
yeah. But after seeing pictures in hand, he does look so much closer than what Kingdom Galvatron does, or whatever. So I did get him. So now I think I bought the last Galvatron I'll ever need.
Well, I mean, you should certainly have enough of them by now, because you have what? You've got Kingdom, you've got Legacy, you've got the reformatting one. You've probably got Select's Toy Galvatron, right?
Yeah, I got him on sale. I got Straxus if you want to count him.
Yeah, you've got Straxus, and now you've got that. So you've got 6 of that Galvatron mold
I have
family.
my own Sentai.
Yeah, just mostly made of purple rangers.
Yeah.
I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah, I was waiting for that response. Yes.
Yep. I got this in yesterday. I've not had a chance to build it. I got two of these actually, not of the same thing, but I got the clear Yolopark Optimus Prime. That was the original convention exclusive that they put up on their website.
Nice.
So I got that. Have not had a chance to build it yet. And I also decided to go ahead and use a little bit of Amazon credit, not a whole lot, but I did get the Yolopark last night, Optimus Prime, just because it looks so good. And I don't have to worry about transforming it into 1,000 pieces. But I got that. I don't plan on buying any more movie Yolopark stuff unless it's something that's outstanding. Last two things I got. Unfortunately, this is technically theft, but it's fourth party of a third party figure. So I don't know how Brian will think about that.
Brian's not here.
Yeah, I mean, but I got a KO of Unique Toys Dino.
Okay.
So it's basically it's an exact copy of the Unique Toys Dino with with a few upgrades as they are wont to do. But we also have not really had a good figure of this character for the 3 seconds he was in the movie. So after watching a review, I decided it's a really easy transformation. It looks good. The quality is good. It's just a really great looking figure in both modes, and it's nice to have a decent representation of this character.
So is there a reason that you went for theft instead of getting the actual Unique Toys one?
Yes, because it's about 40 versus 130.
Yeah, that sounds like theft, all right.
Yeah. So there's that. And the last thing I got on topic this week, he's partly metal, partly real, and completely not legally distinct.
Is metal not real?
Silverbolt. I was going for Silverhawk's joke. Didn't quite work out.
Yeah,
this is the trans art Silverbolt.
Oh, okay. That's why it's so shiny.
Yes, there is loads of paint on this thing. The hands they're typewriter fingers, but they're well sculpted. It's just an absolutely gorgeous figure. The missiles do shoot, the wings do flap. I just got him yesterday. I have not had a chance to transform him.
Okay, important question. Can the wings go over the shoulders like on the TV show? The thing that the Legacy one cannot do.
I don't think so.
Damn it!
However, the video, there are no instructions. You have to watch a video on YouTube.
And you haven't had time.
I have not had time to do that, so it may be there. I will say when I first opened it up, there's a thing that says, caution, this part will break.
That's what you always want to see.
On his crotch.
Okay. Did you break
apparently those little teeth, the teeth down there that connect the two halves.
He's got teeth in his crotch?
The interlocking tabs, yes. But looks absolutely great. I may look for the Black Arachnia. I don't want the Transmetal version to go with him. But Silverbolt is my favorite Beast Wars character. I identify with him a lot. I too can be as dumb as a bag of hammers sometimes. So, but I think he looks great, and I'm really glad to have picked him up. And that's all I have on topic this week.
If you do get time to watch the video and mess with that more, check back in with us with that next week because I want to hear how it actually stacks up versus the Legacy version in terms of the things it can do that the real toy can't.
Right, I will do my best.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Diecast, what did you get this week?
I got what Don got, but I actually took mine out of the box and messed with it. The clear Optimus Prime from Yolopark, or semi-transparent. I guess it's not all clear plastic.
That's some good colors on that.
Yeah, it's really nice. I really like that I can see the inner workings, like when I move the elbow joint and stuff. It's kind of interesting to see how everything moves completely and not just what you can see on the outside. Super easy to put together. The only complaint I have is that the magnet to turn the light on is in the barrel, and it's like in the center of the barrel instead of at the end, or like the where it fires out of. So the magnet's just in a odd place. And if you're posing the figure, then you got to take the gun out of the hand to activate the lights. It's kind of annoying. I
Oh,
just wish they would have did like a separate piece. Like I think in one of the Optimus Prime figures, the bigger ones that they've done, they actually put the magnet in the Autobot symbol that sits on the base. So
oh,
you
yeah,
can
that
just
makes more sense.
that would make a lot more sense than the gun. But even putting the magnet in the middle of the gun, which was probably like a weight thing, maybe if they would have put it on one of the ends, it would have worked a lot better. But that's a minor nitpick. That's really the only complaint I have about this figure. Like I said, they just did the translucent plastic. The colors are still vibrant and not dead, like
Hmm.
like the eyes are, because they have light up eyes and they don't paint the eyes, which
Uh-huh.
is another thing. I rather have painted eyes than light up eyes. That way, whenever I look at it on the shelf, I don't have to turn the figure on to make it look like it's alive.
I would tend to agree, yeah, or like really good light piping, I think is another good option for that. Um, my favorite thing, we've talked about this on occasion before, is when they chrome plate the eyes, because like,
Yeah.
nothing looks brighter than, a like gold mirror surface or, blue metallic surface like that. Like that's just, it really pops when you do that.
Yeah, I mean the lights in the head are pretty good. They actually light up his whole front of his head
Mhm.
just because of the clear plastic.
Right.
But yeah, I want my figures to look good without having to turn lights on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's all I got Transformers wise.
Oh, okay. Well, that will take us into our off-topic segment. Of course, our ham sandwiches, what we got, are exclusive to our patrons. If you would like to get the complete What We Got segment, you can head over to patreon.com/tfradio and sign up today. More on that in a little bit. In the meantime, though, Matt, what off-topic did you get this week?
Nothing this week.
Oh, well, all that build up for nothing. John, how about you?
Nothing for me either.
I'm less surprised by that. Rob?
Nope.
Okay, we might actually end on time after all this week. Don, how about you?
I did get a couple of things. Thanks to a gift card at Amazon and a warehouse find, I got the last of the current Street Fighter figures I needed, the one I care about the least, Fei Long. But he was $15, basically free with the gift card that I had. So my set's complete, I guess.
Fight you, Don.
There was a New Year's Day sale over at Valaverse, who does the G.I. Joe Classified adjacent line, and I picked up two of the figures, which came in a bundle, which saved me about $15 over the two figures individually. Unfortunately, it didn't say they were coming in plain brown boxes. Well, I kind of wanted the actual boxes, but I did get the file cards. So I got Condor, which is their version of Chuckles, in a similar outfit, and Pandora, who is a Dreadnought like character in a new outfit and new accessories. And I saved about $15 due to the sale there. I picked up at Ollie's right now, between now and I believe it's the 10th, but double check, has 40% off all toys. So I got an Origins Panther for my Origins Skeletor to ride for $6.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
Yeah,
there was
because that started out at like $40, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the Masterverse Battle Cat because I wasn't doing any of the Origins, but I've got the cartoon colored Skeletor, and then for $6, I'm gonna put him on Panther and he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
There's that. Went to Walmart today, seeing if they had anything. And one thing I've been looking at is these AB style Ninja Turtle diorama pieces. And I was just, one of those things I was looking at. And I walked in today. They had all 4 turtles and they were on clearance. I thought, well, that's a sign.
Yeah,
Because,
it's a clearance sign.
yeah, that plus they only had 4 and they had all 4 turtles. So being able to actually get the complete set on clearance, because I have the Diamond Select Shredder that will go really good with, and the Party Wallops as well. So that was kind of an unexpected find. Last thing
How
I
much
got,
of those run on clearance, Don?
the whole set ran about $120 for all 4.
What were they
They
not
were
on clearance?
Well, they were 50 apiece.
Ow!
Yeah,
I think I can see why they went on clearance.
yeah. Again, if it only been 1 or 2, I probably wouldn't have bothered and just wait for them to go and sell on Amazon.
Yeah.
But not instead of trying to have to piece out everything, it kind of worked out to the good.
Yeah.
The last thing I got was, I mentioned last week I got the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Right.
Well, I found online I don't know if you want to call it cell shaded, comic shaded. McFarlane calls it Superman 78. I really don't know, other than it's the Christopher Reeve Superman in that cell shading, which I thought looked really nice, and it's a Christopher Reeve Superman, so you can't go wrong with it.
You can if you cell shade it.
It is comic shaded because I'm pretty sure Superman 78 is a comic much the same way Batman 66
right.
is.
Yeah, that actually was not too long ago, was it?
Yeah. So I went ahead. I just like Christopher Reeve Superman. He's my Superman. He's the best Superman. So I just wanted to get both versions of that toy. And that's all I got this week off topic.
Diecast.
I don't think I got anything off topic this week.
Well, okay then. So, as for me, I should have mentioned this in the main segment, but I did not remember to before I threw over to ham sandwiches. So apologies to Blade Raider. Blade Raider sent me off of my Amazon wish list. I think it's the last 2 of the Playmates Star Trek figure revival line. So, as an early birthday present, he sent me Captain Burnham and Saru. I guess actually it's probably Commander Burnham because she's still in the blue uniform. But the 2 Discovery figures that they did, those were the last ones I needed to complete that set. So those came in today just a little bit before showtime here. I haven't had a chance to open them, but they're going to be the same. Don's raising his hand. Hi, Don. What's up?
Hi, Chris. You may want to check the Discord chat. Wheeljack64 just posted something very interesting.
Well, we'll talk about that when we come out of the ham sandwiches segment, since this is technically patron content right this moment. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to open those figures just yet, but they are the same construction basically as the other revival Playmates 5-inch Star Trek figures, so you kind of know what you're getting with them. The sculpt and the paint on them are all very nice, and it's nice to have the set completed. And I really did especially get to liking Saru as Star Trek Discovery went on more. Like that, the character really grew over the course of that, and like I'm so sad that the Playmates revival figure line basically died as soon as it started up, because I would love to have like variant versions from the later seasons, representing like the updated uniforms and stuff. Blade just said that he would have waited to send them closer to my birthday, but they were on sale and he wasn't going to pass them up at that. I can't blame you. And honestly, the way stuff has been going, getting Amazon stuff delivered to me lately, like, you're way better off erring on the side of being early, because who knows how long it could have actually taken if you waited longer. It has been rough around here. On which note, from Brian, I got another thing off of my wish list. This was supposed to be a Christmas gift, which Amazon lost the first one of. He had to order a replacement. It just one of the Nintendo eShop gift cards they had on there, so that I could buy some of the Gundam Breaker 4 DLC.
Nice.
So many apologies to Brian for the whole system of getting stuff from Amazon to me being broken somehow, and him having to go to extra effort there, but thanks so much to him for doing that. And then for myself, I got the the charging grip for the Joy-Cons for my Switch. Because, like, the way I've got my Switch set up, it's basically in its dock full time, and it's just connected to one of my monitors in front of me. So I'm always playing it with the Joy-Cons out and in the controller dock. And up to this point, I've only had the base one that comes with it that doesn't provide any power, and it's a pain to take the Joy-Cons on and off the Switch itself in the dock to charge them. And I understand that can wear out the rails on the Switch itself, given enough time. So having them where they can just charge on the controller grip like that, it adds a little longevity to everything and makes the whole experience a little bit more convenient. So as far as I can remember right now, that's all I got this week, on topic or off. So we're cutting back into our on-topic part of the show here with a breaking piece of information here. Wheeljack64 dropped this in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord. The T-Spark official Twitter account, because, yes, I am going to continue calling it Twitter and not X, because that's just, it's the right thing to do. They've put up a teaser image showing their AMT-02 Predaking, which I'm going to get up here on the screen in just a moment. So this is the second in this series after the IDW-inspired Rodimus, which, as far as I know, still hasn't come out. And I think the only development that has had since they announced it several months ago was just a set of stock photos. So I guess eventually some of this stuff will get released, but in the meantime, they certainly are liking putting out concept art for this. It's very heavily anime-inspired design and proportions and whatnot. I don't think this actually separates into anything. It's just a Predaking figure. But yeah, so a little bit of late-breaking news on that. Guys, any thoughts on this?
I dread to see the price.
Yeah, it's probably going to be really expensive.
Yeah, for some reason when I thought about that, I thought of like the Zord Ascension Project figures.
Oh, probably more expensive than that.
Yeah, but that's what popped in my head.
Hopefully,
as far
have
as
higher quality.
Yeah, but that's just what I thought of, was like, high grade action figure, versus that actually transformable toy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well,
and it still has the elongated waist that I didn't like on Power of the Prime's Predaking. So, oh well.
Which I think on this is probably more of an intentional design choice, because it seems a bit more Gundam that way.
Yeah. Plus also there's probably an ab crunch in there and some teapot side to side posing ability as well.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely not a thing for me.
Well, depending on the price, is it going to be a thing for anybody that we know?
Well, yeah, there you go. Did we have a price point on the AMT-01 Rodimus? Does anybody remember?
Was it about Diecast? Was it about 200?
Because that would really inform on this, I think.
I don't remember.
I want to say it's about 200.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you're right.
Yeah, I mean, this thing has to be 500 or 600 at least.
Well, good luck with that, Takara Tomy.
Okay, it's sold out at Big Bad. It was $199 at Big Bad, and it's sold out.
Yeah.
Pre-sold out, yeah, okay.
Yeah, pre-sold out.
Yeah, so I mean, you have to assume this is going to be a bigger thing. Like, I don't know if it's going to be 400 or 500, but John's right. It's going to be pretty damn expensive up there like that.
Yeah, ain't going to be cheap. But it'll be nice to see it as far as, how it ends up, because it'll make a heck of a wallpaper if nothing else.
That's certainly one way to look at it. All right, so getting back on track here. Of course, we just wrapped up our off-topic ham sandwiches portion of what we got before our breaking news. Off Topics is, of course, exclusive to our patrons. If you want to become a patron, help support the show, and get a whack of nifty benefits for yourself, you can head over to patreon.com/tfradio and sign up. Patrons at any tier get things like ad-free versions of the podcast without the automatic pre-roll and post-roll ads inserted. You get the podcast a day early, not necessarily 24 hours, but you'll get the day before it goes out to the public podcast feed. You'll get the podcast at a higher bit rate. You get the weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast, which this week was about 45 minutes long because of waiting for technical difficulties to get resolved. You get unedited episodes of RFC exclusive to the patron podcast feed. That is, if Brian has to edit the show for some substantive content reason, like, Diecast antagonizing Don into an artificial meltdown. Like, that would probably get cut out and end up in the unedited version of the episode. But, just for simple things like getting rid of crosstalk or, somebody fumbling over their words, like I often do when I go off script, as I have just now, those kind of edits don't end up in the patron special version. Basically, when we have that, we try to give you your money's worth. We don't just like throw in whatever the heck kind of edits we have and call it a patron benefit. Of course, if you have your Patreon and Discord accounts linked, you get a special color in our Discord server, tfradio.net/Discord. You'll get a red username in there as a patron if your accounts are linked. If you sign up to Patreon at the Touch tier, you get all of those benefits, plus you get the opportunity to be on There Goes My Money, which gets recorded twice per month. And patrons at any tier will also get There Goes My Money in their podcast feed a week before the public feed gets it, when the episodes get published. And of course, Touched patrons are mentioned on the show each week, and we're going to do that right now. So thank you so much to our Touched patrons, Kevin Dorsey, Daniel Scott, Jacob Owen Lutia, Sean Bratton, Emmett Sresovich, Hector Bones, Jay Kleinrye, Joey Russell, Here's Why It's Cool, Rabbits, Ryan Bona, Sean Hamilton, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Trickster, Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews, and Mouse Koenig. And it is still fairly early in the month. It's not quite the start of the month now, but this is a great time if you've been thinking about becoming a patron to jump on, because then you're getting your patron charge for RFC right at the start of each month, and it helps now that Patreon is kind of decentralized when the payments get processed versus how the old model works. It helps to have signups happen as consistently as possible in terms of the time in the month when it happens, because otherwise, you get a little bit here, a little bit there. So, if you're thinking about it, it's any time's a good time to sign on, but especially around the start of the month, that's a great time to sign on and throw your support our way if that's something you're inclined to do. Of course, if you want to help support the show and you cannot or just don't really want to sign up for a Patreon account, you can always help us by using our Amazon affiliate links. If you go to tfradio.net/Amazon, that will set a little cookie in your browser for a little while. And after that, any purchases you make until you click on the next Amazon affiliate link from somebody else, those referral fees that are generated from that will go back to us and will contribute a little bit to help keep operations running here. So you can find me on the internet at my Blue Sky account, I suppose, chrisrtxv.bsky.social. I post there irregularly, but I try to have decent comments when I do. You can also find my website that has my archive of toy photography at playwithphotography.com. My birthday is coming up in just about a couple weeks here, so if you are also so inclined to maybe send something my way in observance of that, I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist, and yes, that too is an Amazon affiliate link that benefits RFC. So not only will you be sending me a birthday gift, but you will also be getting a little bit of referral fee to come back to the show. Brian was not able to be here with us this week. You can find him and the things he does at briankilby.com, or you can find him on Blue Sky at kilby.bsky.social. Rob Springer is not with the show on an ongoing basis, but Rob will always be part of our RFC family. You can find him on Blue Sky at zonebase.bsky.social or at zonebase.org. You can also find his Transform Squadron podcast once a month or so in the RFC Transformers podcast feed. John DeLuna, what is the extremely complicated and varied way that people can find you on the internet?
That John D everywhere except on eBay where I'm Cloudburst. Still got to upload those Japanese Transformers. I'm working on it. Hey, real quick for the Patreon.
Yes.
I'm not prepared to talk about a particular ham sandwich topic this week because I haven't collected my thoughts. But next week or the next time I'm on the show, I've got one, and I'm outraged by it. I've never been. I can't remember the last time I've been this mad at a toy, and that's gonna be brought up next time I'm on the show for ham sandwiches. So that's a tease.
Now, if
Anyway,
that's not a sales pitch, I don't know what is.
Find me anywhere, that John D, everywhere except again on eBay where I'm Cloudburst.
Go buy his stuff. He's a good seller and packs and ships well. I have his taco tank, I know.
Thank you.
Matt, where do we find you?
Melvard.bsky.social. That's with 3 L's and 2 R's.
Rob.
I am on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. That is kind of sort of connected to Flail Throughs, which is my YouTube channel. Still covering Gundam games. Gundam Battle Operation 2 is still going strong. Just got the awakened version of the Unicorn Gundam last week. And updates are, with the new year over, updates are back to Thursday mornings. So check out then to see what new mobile suit has been added to the game for the week. YouTube.com/@flailthroughs. And if you would like to support me, Patreon.com/flailthroughs. You can either send me a couple of bucks just to support me, or send a couple more, and I take requests for Gundam Breaker 4, Gundam Battle Operation 2, anything else I'm playing where you can, make specific combinations of mobile suits, color schemes, etc. And if you just feel like sending me something, tfradio.net/playlist, which helps the show.
Very good. Headmaster Don.
Hey, everybody. I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC4EVR. I can be reached on Blue Sky at HMRC4EVR.bluesky.social. I also have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/donlist.
Very good. Diecast.
You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Diecast2. Like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. See my reviews at tfradio.net/reviews or youtube.com/rfcreviews. I also have an Amazon wish list, tfradio.net/diecast list.
All right. I think that will do it for us this week. Thank you all for being here. Thank you guys. And we will be back next week, hopefully with our year in review episode. Hopefully everything smooths out and we will be back on track with your regularly scheduled special RFC episodes. So until then, see you next time.
Take care, everybody.
Recording stopped.
Hooray! Stop that recording too. All right, live audience, I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream because it's late and I want to get out of here. So as soon as I can find the button on YouTube to do that, we are going to be disappearing from your screens. If YouTube would load, that is itself kind of a challenge right now. Let's see.
See you, everybody.
Take care, Diecast.
Bye, Diecast.
Good night, Diecast.
Night.
I'm out too, guys. I got to do snow preparations.
Oh, yeah. Bye, John.
Oh, yeah.
All right, take
Good
care,
luck.
John.
Bye,
Hi,
guys.
John.